I haven't done a video like this in a while, so I thought that I would do this one. Wanted to talk a little bit about the reborn dolls. I'm in my nursery, and I do have an entire nursery, one room that is dedicated to nothing but my babies. I have 5 right now, and I love each and every one of them. There are some members of my family and other people who, they're understanding about me having my dolls. The part that they have a problem with, I think, is that, I have a nursery, I have cribs, I have car seats and strollers and closet full of clothes and accessories for the babies. I buy diapers, things like that. And my mom thinks, I've kind of lost my mind, that I'm a little crazy because I have these dolls and I take them places with me. Before the pandemic, I took my babies out with me. I always had a baby with me everywhere I went. 3 of my babies are sleeping babies. This is one of them. This is Liam. He's chased by Bonnie Brown. And I have 2 more little girls that are sleeping babies. And then I have 2 big babies that are awake, and one's a boy and one's a girl. They all do something different for me, The little ones are great if you just need a little soothing. It's great therapy to hold a sweet sleeping baby. You just need some, to cuddle a baby, and it always just makes you feel better. The bigger ones, sometimes, you just need to feel like that someone's listening, that someone's there. And, you could read them a story, you could put on a movie that, you really like, that's a children's movie, and feel like that you have someone watching with you. I don't know if you all will understand that or not, but, they just provide company, whereas the little ones provide just cuddle therapy. And so anyway, they're all very special to me. I've encountered negative comments from people that just simply do not understand. And I do these videos, and I take a baby out with me for 2 reasons. One, because they help me. I have severe social anxiety. Going out in public is not easy for me. If it wasn't for my babies, I probably would never leave my home. It's just too difficult for me. But when I have a baby with me, I'm focusing on them, and I'm not focusing on the things that normally bother me when I'm out in public. For example, a crowded room, too many people, if it's too loud. I can't stand someone sitting right next to me. And there are some places, some occasions where that can't be helped. Someone's going to be sitting beside you. But it makes me very uncomfortable. So, I'm not as bad as I used to be. I used to be so bad that if my husband and I wanted to go to the movies together, if he couldn't get a seat on the end and put me on the end, and he would sit on the other side of me so nobody would be sitting beside me, then he would buy the seat on the other side of me. He'd be on one side of me and buy the other seat on the other side of me, and I would put my purse and, coat or sweater or whatever else in that seat. And that way, if anybody said anything, like if it was a sold out, theater, he would show them the ticket and say, I bought 3 seats. That seat's mine. I paid for it. And, so that I could be comfortable and enjoy watching the movie. I've gotten better. I'm not quite that bad, but I don't really go to the movies that much at all anymore. But I'm just not good going out in public. But when I have a baby with me, I don't think about those things. I'm focusing on the baby, and I'm not thinking about the room's crowded or noisy or someone sitting right next to me that I don't know. I don't worry about those things. It's hard for me to talk to people I don't know, but I know if I have a baby with me, that's usually why somebody might come up and talk to me, or if they do, I've got my baby to comfort me. Um, and a lot of times it starts out about something else, but then they see the baby and they ask how old, and then I have to explain to them it's not real baby, it's a doll. And then they, you know, it's easy for me to talk about them because I know a lot about them and I love spreading awareness of them. I've allowed a lot of people to hold my babies, which made them fall in love and want one themselves. It helped them to realize that they are very therapeutic, they are very helpful. And, once I explain everything to them, they're like, oh, okay. Now I get it. And they have a different, outlook, a different view on it than they originally did. I'll give you some examples. I was out with my babies one day. I had one of my babies with me. And this lady approached me and she said, oh, he's so tiny, he's so cute. It wasn't this one, it was a different one. He was a little preemie baby. And she said, he's so tiny, he's so cute, how old is he? And I said, oh, it's not a real baby, it's a doll. And she just kind of stood there and looked at me for a minute and then, looked at the doll and then looked at me. And she was like, but why? And I said, why what? And she said, why do you have a doll in a stroller pushing it around? And I said, well, for two reasons. One, because I have severe social anxiety and general anxiety disorder. Going out of my house out into public is very difficult for me, and this makes it easier. I am focused on the baby and they bring me comfort. If I'm having an especially bad time or if I have a panic attack, I can take the baby out of the stroller and I can hold it, and just holding it like this, or I can put it, on my chest, and just holding it like that is very comforting and it calms me down. The other reason is I like to spread awareness because there's so many other people that have these dolls, and I don't want people to be mean to them. I want people to educate people so they understand. They're good for people like me who suffer from anxiety, and I also suffer from depression, and these babies really help me with that too. But there's other reasons. And the other reasons are there's a lot of women who struggle with infertility and are unable to have children. And having one of these babies, they have an overwhelming need to love and nurture. And having one of these babies brings them a lot of comfort. I personally know quite a few women who struggle with infertility, and some of them have some of these babies, and there's some that do not. And, everyone's different. The ones that do not have found ways to just accept, that they're not going to be a parent and move on and find other ways of coping and stuff. Some of the ways are not healthy ways, but the ones who do have them have told me that, it fills a void. It fills an emptiness. Okay, there's this void. I want to have a child so bad. I want to have a baby to dress and buy clothes for it. And, it's comforting, and it, they just want to be a mother. They want to have children, but they just can't. And so these babies give them something to love and nurture. They can change their clothes. They can rock them and hold them. They can even, he's a boy, but this bottle's handy, so I'm going to show you. This is a pretend bottle I've fixed to make it look like a real bottle. And they can actually sit and they can, pretend, to be feeding their baby a bottle and, rocking it just like this. And just the mere act, just holding the bottle and just rocking the baby, it's very therapeutic. It's very comforting. And it's something that someone that really wants to be a mother desires. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not harmful. It's not hurting them. It's not hurting anyone else. And yeah, they can do that and pretend to be feeding the baby a bottle. But just the act of just holding that bottle and rocking the baby and is just comforting. It really is. And so then there are women who have had children and lost them for one reason or another, either stillborns, miscarriages. My sister lost her son at 5 months old to SIDS. There are women who, you know, just could never carry a baby full term, kept miscarrying, or, whatever. I personally, myself, have never lost any children, but I talked to a lady a couple of years ago who had a baby. It took her a really long time. She struggled with infertility. Finally, she got pregnant, and she had the baby, and he was healthy, and everything was wonderful. And, she had, like my sister, her son died at 5 months old. Her baby was, about 4 months old. She had a routine. She, several times a day, she would nurse the baby and change his diaper and hold it and, care for it and everything. And so she had this routine, she'd go in, she'd nurse the baby, and she would just sit there and rock and nurse him and talk to him or sing to him. It was just a real quiet, comforting, bonding time with her and her son. Well, her son got sick. At first, they didn't know what was wrong with him, and the doctors took him a little bit, but they finally figured out what was wrong. And he, within a few months, he just got worse and worse, and he passed away. Well, she's like, she still kept, even when he was sick, she's like, no, he's a breastfed baby. I'm going to nurse him. She stayed at the hospital 24/7, and she nursed him. Well, then she said, then he was gone, and I still had milk, and just this overwhelming desire, where's my baby? There's this emptiness, this void. And my baby's gone, and she didn't have, it's not like she had time to wean the baby and let her milk dry up. I mean, it was just 1 minute he was there, the next minute he wasn't. And she said it was just like shocking, and it shocked her body. So her friend suggested she get a reborn. So she did. And, she would, around those same times that she normally nursed her son, would go into the nursery, pick up the baby, sit in the rocking chair and just rock it and hold it and talk to it. And, it kind of filled that void. You could say it's like a psychological thing. It kind of fools your brain into thinking, okay, there's a baby here again. It's okay. And it actually allows you to kind of find peace and calm down a little bit. It's not your baby, no, but it's hard to explain, but it just kind of fools your brain into, and everything into thinking that, okay, there's a baby there again. And it helps. It makes it easier. She said it made a world of difference for her. These babies are also good for Alzheimer's and dementia patients. They forget, they forget a lot of things. They forget who their family members are, their children, their spouses. They forget, a lot. Their memory is like, it just really takes away their memories, and they don't know who anybody is. One thing that sticks with us, but kind of gets locked away, is how to take care of ourselves. We know, we've been doing it for like years. So we know what we're supposed to do. We know how to take care of ourselves. We remember if we're parents or we babysat, we helped raise someone else's kids, whatever the case may be. We remember how to take care of children. That's where these dolls can be very instrumental. You give them a doll and, reborn or, whatever, and they have someone to talk to, and it jogs their memories, and sometimes it helps them get back memories that they lost. It helps them to remember, by remembering how to take care of a baby, because it just automatically, from wherever that's like lost, it comes back when they're holding this baby, and they remember it needs to be fed, needs to be burped, it needs its diaper changed, you need to rock it, you need to talk to it. You know what I'm saying? They remember all those things. And in remembering to take care of, how to take care of a baby, when those memories come back, it helps them remember how to take care of themselves. This baby, goes to the bathroom in its diaper. Wait a minute, I go to the bathroom. Well, I have to remember to get up and go to the bathroom when I have to go. I have to remember that I need to eat, that it helps them slowly start to remember how to take care of themselves, and it makes them want to. It's something about them. It kind of wakens up some of the stuff that has been not lost, but just gone dormant, because certain parts of the brain that hold those memories stop functioning properly, and it kind of helps it start to function again a little bit. And so they're very good for dementia and Alzheimer's patients. So they have a lot of good uses. They help a lot of people in a lot of ways. I've been blessed with 2 beautiful daughters. Getting pregnant was never hard for me. In fact, I really didn't want to get pregnant either time. It just kind of happened. So sometimes when I'm talking to my friends, or I hear stories from people that are struggling with infertility and they want nothing more than to just have a child, to be a mother, sometimes I feel guilty, and I, want to make that better. And one such mother, I gave her a reborn doll, a beautiful reborn doll. I had it made for her, and it's brought her so much joy, and she loves it. And she's gotten a couple more since then, several more since then. And it's really made a difference in her life. It's hard to accept when a doctor tells you, for different medical reasons, you can't have kids. Whether it's PCOS, endometriosis, countless other issues that make it difficult to conceive or carry a child to term. And so it's frustrating. Why? Why does all this stuff have to happen to me? All I want is to be a mom. Well, nobody can answer that, but the dolls give her something to hold, to love, to nurture. She can go out. She's like, it always would break her heart to walk past the baby clothes section, the baby section in Walmart or somewhere else, another store, and just want so bad to go buy some cute little outfits and baby things, have something to buy those things for, and when she got her dolls, it gave her, something to go buy those clothes for, and to dress and to hold and to love and to nurture. And so, you don't have to agree with this hobby, but I mean, you don't have to really like it. You don't have to do this, collect babies or, take part in this, but please just think about other people's feelings, and it's not hurting them or anyone else. And if this is having one of these babies is making someone's life better, making them happy, able to function better and enjoy life, then don't give them a hard time about it. Don't make them feel like they're crazy for it. I mean, they're amazing. They are amazing. They look just like, and they're let me get him unwrapped. They are weighted, so they feel like real babies. They move like real babies. You have to support their head just like a real baby. This one has a cloth body. His body is cloth, but he's got full vinyl arms and legs all the way up to the shoulders. And so, I mean, he can even be dressed in summer outfits and everything. Here's his little leg. But he has a cloth body, and that makes him incredibly cuddly. So he just kind of, and this is what's therapeutic, is just holding a baby like this in your arms, and, rocking them, talking to them, singing to them. And, they have some amazing details. And here's his little face. It's kind of dark in here. I apologize for the bad lighting, but the details are just absolutely amazing on these babies. And so, it helps to hold something that looks and feels so real. It helps. And, it's just, I don't know. I can't completely explain it. But if you ever see someone out, somewhere, and they have a baby, and you go up and say, "Oh, what a beautiful baby. How old?" And they tell you it's not a real baby, it's a doll. Or even if their baby is not one of the high-end ones like this that are super duper realistic and you can tell right off that it's a doll, they may have a lot going on in their life and they might be really struggling, and that doll may be helping them. And, so just please don't be mean. And try to understand, we all have our journeys, our struggles. You never know what someone else's journey is been like and is still like, what they're going through every day. They may be living a nightmare. And that baby may be the only thing that's, keeping them from committing suicide. This coming from someone who attempted suicide twice years ago. And I really feel like with some of the things I've been through since, if I didn't have my babies, I think I probably would have tried again. And each time you try to commit suicide and you're stopped or you fail, you get a little smarter the next time. And, more likely to succeed. So I'm glad I have these beautiful babies to comfort me. And, when I'm having a really bad day, my depression's really bad, instead of laying in my bed curled up crying, I sit in here and I hold my babies and I rock them and sing to them and talk to them. I pick up, I've got my open-eyed babies and I read to them and stuff like that. And it helps. I don't expect everybody to understand, but I, would like to ask that everybody show respect. It may not be your thing. You may not totally get it. It may be something that won't work for you, that, like it wouldn't work for my sister. She lost her son, but one of these babies would not help her. It would not work for her. I think it would make matters worse for her. Everybody's different. But, just try to open your hearts and your minds and try to understand, and just be respectful, and don't be mean to somebody that you see with one of these babies. Just try to be understanding. Like I said, we don't know everybody's journeys and what they're going through or have gone through. So, this is better than drinking, doing drugs. Again, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I chose that unhealthy coping mechanism, and I was a smoker. And I'm 12 years sober. 12 years I'm, sober. And it's been 5 years since I quit smoking. And they're the reason why I continue to stay sober and continue to be a non-smoker. This isn't hurting me. This isn't hurting anyone else. I'm not smoking around people and endangering their health. I'm not drinking and getting in my car and driving and endangering other people's lives by drinking and driving. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at the choice, someone walking around with one of these beautiful babies and coping with things that way versus on the road after drinking and potentially risking killing someone or injuring them very badly or themselves, or smoking, and they're going to smoke publicly somewhere, and it's nothing worse than if you're a non-smoker to walk past somebody who's smoking and be like, oh, do you have to sit so close to the door? You just like to be able to walk into an establishment without being accosted by someone's cigarette smoke. You see, it's going to be that much less people that are doing those things and putting the rest of us in danger. This isn't putting anybody in danger. This isn't hurting anyone right here. So try to have patience. And just try to have patience and, be respectful and just try to understand, and don't make anyone feel bad, okay? These are wonderful things here. Some people just collect them, and that's great too. But people like me, we're reborn moms, like what my shirt says. It says reborn mom. And it says, the meanings say someone who adopts and collects reborn dolls. And then down here it says someone who doesn't care what you think about it. And I don't. I have respect for everybody, but you know, I deserve to be happy too. And if these babies bring me joy and happiness and help me to be more functional and, you know, able to go out and go places and do things that I really want to do and do it in comfort and not be like, oh, just, you have no idea, on edge about every little thing. When you have anxiety, your mind finds it goes to worst case scenario, and all you hear is, what if that person does this? What if this happens? What if? And it's always the worst thing. And it's awful. But when I have a baby with me, that doesn't happen. When I have a baby with me, I focus on the baby. I don't think about everything else, the what ifs. I just, I can't explain it, but it works. So let's spread the love in this new year, 2021. Let's be good to each other and respectful. And it may not be your thing. But if it makes someone else happy and it makes their life a little bit more, enjoyable, and they're able to be more relaxed and be a more functional part of society, then it's not hurting anything. I have my nursery because I like to have a safe place to keep my babies. And I like to have them on display when I'm not holding them. I like them to have a safe place to be. And I like the clothes because I like to change their clothes and dress them up and make them look cute. And the reason I have a stroller and a car seat is because they look so real. If I got out of the car holding this baby like this, somebody would call the cops on me. They wouldn't come ask me if that's a doll or a real baby. They would assume it was a real baby and call the police on me. So there is a certain amount of responsibility when you take out these very realistic babies, because you don't want someone calling the cops on you. You don't want to waste the cops' time coming to check on the safety of a baby when it's not even a real baby, it's a doll. So if you're going to take one out that's super realistic like this, you need to put it in a car seat, just so people, won't come running over to you and say, why don't you have that kid in a car seat, whatever. It just saves you from having to deal with that hassle. And I have had the cops called on me once because I didn't take the car seat with me, and I had him in my lap, and we had just gotten to, forgot where we were, but we had just gotten there, and I was getting out of the car, and a lady was getting out of the car next to me as well. And when I opened the car door and I had this infant on my lap and I got out of the car, she said, why are you holding that baby, in the front seat? Where's the car seat? And she started looking in my car windows. You have no car seat. And I said, it's not a real baby. It's a doll. And she said, what? And she thought I'd lost my mind. She thought I was crazy. I said, it's not a real baby. It's a doll. And I showed her. And I said, and she said, oh my God, I thought it was a real baby. She said, I'm so sorry. And I've had that happen. And I have actually had the cops called on me. She actually came over and said something to me, but another lady, I guess it was a lady, I don't know, somebody else did. They thought they didn't come talk to me. They just called the police because they saw me get out of the car with the doll. What I did was I was driving and the doll was on the front seat, and I stopped the car and I parked, and then I picked the baby up out of the front seat and got out of the car. And they saw that, because I'm assuming they saw that because they called the cops on me. And I was in the store and I got paged. It was paged and it said the owner of, and they said, the make and model and the color of my car, and they spouted out my license plate. And I'm like, well, I have that kind of car, and that sounds like my license plate. I didn't have it memorized at the time. And so they said, could you please come, to your car? So I went out there just to see if it was by chance mine, and I could see and I saw by my car, there was cop car parked behind my car. So I walked over there, and they were like, ma'am, we need to find out, there's no car seat in your car and you have an infant. And we were called because someone saw you pick the baby up off the front seat of your car and, get out of your car with a baby and there's no car seat. And I said, well, I'm sorry, your time was wasted. And I said, it's not a real baby. It's a doll. Of course, the cops, were like, oh my God. And they wanted to hold it and take pictures, take a picture of me holding it. My wife is never going to believe this or whatever. And I said, I'm sorry that your time was wasted. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. We're sorry. We bothered you. I said, no. you're doing your job. You had no idea. You had to come and make sure that there wasn't an infant in danger. And after that, I said, okay, I'm going to put this, get a car seat, and always have the baby in a car seat, because I didn't want to have that happen to me anymore. So it will happen. So if you're going to take one out, I recommend, you can find a used one at a thrift store or at a yard sale, or something like that. And just use that for your reborn, because it really doesn't matter, because it's just for a doll. It looks better to other people when it's in a car seat. So I highly recommend that you do so. But anyway, thank you for coming and watching my video, and you're welcome to subscribe. You don't have to if you don't want to. I don't like forcing anyone to do anything. I would love it if you did, but if you don't want to, it's okay. But I just wanted to share that little bit of information with you, and that way you can maybe share this video with someone that that, if you have reborns and you have people that are giving you kind of a hard time that don't really understand, maybe you could share it with them, and it might help them to understand the good in these babies and how many different people that they help, that they're really wonderful things. Keep your head up, and you have one life to live, and it's yours. Your happiness matters as much as anyone else's. People that love you and really love you and care about you want you to be happy. So they will accept them, and they will not give you a hard time or make negative comments. And if they give you negative comments and they don't accept them, then they don't really care about you as much as they say they do. And it might be better to just distance yourself, not cut them out of your life, but just distance yourself. Don't go out of your way to spend time with them. And if they ask why they never hear from you, just explain to them, I need to have one of my babies with me. It helps me. And I don't like the negative comments. And they'll have to decide if they really care about you and they miss you and they want to have you in, as an active part of their life, then they'll have to find a way to accept them. But it's your life, and you deserve to be happy too. So please live your life for your happiness. Everybody does what they need to do and what they want to do to be happy, and you should do it too. And if this is what makes you happy and makes your life better, do it. Be proud. Be a proud reborn mom, like me. My license plate now, I have memorized. I went and had it changed. I have a personal license plate on my vehicle, and it says RBN MOM. It's reborn mom. I think it's REBRN M. No, that's too many. RBN MOM or something like that. It's 7 letters, so I was trying to figure out how to make it come out to 7 letters, but it's reborn mom. And so and sometimes I'll wear this shirt, but I love to go out and I love to spread awareness about these babies, and let people hold them and bring smiles to their faces. And so just hang in there. You're important too, and your happiness is important too. So take care, and thanks for watching. Have a good night.